Alright, this is a demonstration of Drawing Generator, an add-in I made for SolidWorks. The purpose of this tool is to generate drawings for multi-body parts. If you ever worked with multi-body part files, you know that creating the drawings for them can be quite time-consuming, so this tool aims to simplify that for you. The first feature I want to show is the Weld Callout View feature. So a lot of the bodies in multi-body part files are going to be bonded together through welds. So this feature allows you to create weld callout views that will automatically be referenced in the drawings when they get created. So I'm going to create this weld callout view for this square tube here, and it's going to get bonded to this base flange. Now the tool is going to use the final view orientation of the current model view when I click OK up here. So for this one, I think I'm going to show the front view as my weld callout view and just hit OK. If I want to edit it after the fact, I can always just click on the body that it's attached to, then set weld callout view, or I can delete it as well if I don't need it. So this tool is going to be using the annotation views in order to determine, or I should say rather, the dimensions within the annotation views in order to determine which views to insert in the drawing. So if you, like for instance, this top view, right, has a lot of dimensions that are used for placement of the tube on top of the flange, the dimensions of the base flange, and then of course there's the dimensions for the tube itself. So it's going to be using those dimensions to figure out which views to include. By default though, a front and isometric view will always be included for the cut list items. A couple things to note: make sure that Show Feature Dimensions is enabled on the annotations folder, and that annotation views exist, and that you're also in the default as welded configuration. This default as welded configuration is important because in order to insert cut list item tables, this needs to be active. So make sure you define any weld callout views in this configuration as well so the tool can use them. Alright, let's see. So the tool offers some replacement property options as well. So there's some properties here for the cut list items. You can define your properties that you would like to add, and then have the tool replace any sheet property references with a few of the properties you define in here. So you can see I've defined a part number property in that base flange that I'm going to use to track this base flange. Alright, so if you want to generate some drawings, just go to Cut List, right click, and generate the drawing. Get some options here. You can select the drawing template. So I'm going to use a custom template that I made, and I'll just use the default template SolidWorks gives me for that. So there's a few options for replacing properties. So if you have a part number property defined in your sheet, I'm going to have it replace that with the part number property within my cut list item. And for this, for instance, if you have a title property defined in your sheet, which I do, I'm going to replace it with a description within the cut list items. For this, I'm just going to put material. So I have some options for displaying views. I'm going to have my isometric views and weld callout views be shaded. I'm going to show the edges. Some options for the projection method and the view render quality. I'm going to use the precision quality setting. Alright, that looks good. Click OK. So you can see that it's generated the drawing for me with 4 sheets. There's one overview page, which is going to just be all the bodies in your part. It's going to insert a cut list table here. Here is a weld call view sheet. So you can see that it's showing the dimensions that are used to place the tube on top of the flange. And this sheet will not exist, of course, if you haven't defined a weld call view in your model. And then we have base flange. You can see that it's placed top view here, front view. The thickness was defined in the right view. That's why it's placed here. You can see the property references have been replaced. Got the part number here, title, which has been replaced with the description, material that it's using. Then for the tube, you can see that it's placed the necessary views here in order to define the part. So there's a few drawing properties that you'll need to use this tool. The tool is using these 4 properties here, drawing xmin, ymin, xmax, ymax, in order to place views on your sheets. So these define the corners of the usable space on the sheet in meters. So you can see xmin would be, I've defined it from this point up to this point. So it's going to use those dimensions to position them, center them, make them look decent on the page. All right, I think that concludes the demo. Thanks for watching.